Okay, trying to decide which radio out of the pile I want to look at next, and I think I will look at this battery-operated Philco. This Philco transitone is really too busted up to try to do anything with it. In the other Philco, I can look in the back and tell the speaker is totally disintegrated in that set, so that's going to require another speaker. The Crosley radio, I think it's actually missing a pretty good sized metal trim piece, judging by a picture that I looked at on the internet, so it's probably not worth doing anything with either. So I think I will look at this one, and if I can get it going pretty easily, which I probably can, these battery operated sets are not too hard to get going. And I think I have an old battery pack that I made up that I'll just throw in with it and just advise him that it's not going to run the radio for days or weeks or months. It's only good for a few hours, enough to demonstrate that the radio works. Okay, here we are with the battery eliminator connected. We don't have very strong reception, but we have something, and that's a good sign. Okay, the volume control appears to be dirty. Okay, let's pull this apart and straighten it out. Okay, I sprayed the volume control. Helped tremendously. Of course, that speaker's not too good in that set either.
Listening area, the Twin States, East Mississippi, West Alabama, right here in the Queen City with that cloud cover.
Getting a little bleed over there.
With those big puffy clouds and a northerly.
Magazine. We'll have to work close. In the daily newspaper, then I say you can F off. Vanish from the Netherlands if you cannot.
Okay, here's a 0.05 microfarad bypass capacitor on our mixer tube. As you can see, even with 20 volts, it's leaking like crazy, so that could be causing our little bit of squealing and bleed over problems that we were having before. Okay, I replaced a couple of leaky bypass capacitors, and that seems to have helped our situation a good bit.
Featuring optical, Tempur-Pedic, and adjustable bed. The perfect mattress for your size.
Well, it's week 2. I mean, No, I was your stuff done already. No,
Well, there's 670 coming in, so this means this radio is fairly sensitive.
A lot to sort of unite the entire Republican Party and make people happy, make conservatives like myself happy. And
Here's a battery pack I made up a long time ago for another radio. It runs off of the same voltages that this set needs. We have 10 9-volt batteries wired in series to give us the 90 volts. Now with the 9-volt batteries, you don't need to buy the gourmet variety. You can buy the cheap dollar store batteries because the current drain on the B+ supply is not that much, and these batteries should last a reasonable amount of time. For our filament supply, we have 2 1.5 volt D cells wired in parallel for greater current capacity. And with these, you want to use the best alkaline batteries that you can get, and still they're not going to last all of that long. Not like the D cells in a transistor radio. In fact, the only way I would recommend something like this is just so you can occasionally turn the radio on to show people that it works. If it's a radio that you want to use full time, then my suggestion would be to construct a power supply that will allow the radio to be operated off of the AC power outlet in your home, or obtain one of these older type battery eliminators and overhaul it. However, these older battery eliminators do not have the voltage regulation capabilities that a modern power supply would have. But I think just for the purpose of getting this radio out the door, I'm just going to let this old battery pack that I made go with it. I don't have that much in it. And just inform him that, you know, this is only for testing only. Don't turn the radio on and let it play all day, because it's probably not going to last that long.
What's happening to...
and there it is. It's playing with the battery pack connected.
They cannot live with 40...
Okay, here it is all back together, and I just attached a piece of wire here for an antenna. And this set does have a back panel, which will be replaced before I return it to the owner. Now let's turn it around and see if it still operates.
A barrel oil again.
Okay, here we are back together. I also had to replace the 1H5 driver tube because this one's microphonic and was causing the radio to howl and squeal and make other noises that we don't want.
To be wealthy. Because when you're wealthy, it changes your family tree. It gives you the ability to give. Groggy the next day.
You're listening to the John Tesh Radio Show.
Just ahead, WMER News and weather together. ABC News and Ken Michaels has our WMER Sky Tracker weather next.
Good time gospel radio, 1390 AM and 93.1 FM WMER. Your home for news and weather together. This ABC News radio update presented by Tommy Delaney and Structural Steel Services Incorporated.
Okay, that ought to about do it.
WMER.
This radio is ready to go back home to its owner. See, that makes 3 radios out of the junk pile that are now operational again.
By the end of January, stocks also...
Okay, that ought to do it.